carry on, Zali? Have I still got you? Oh, we might have lost Zali there. Unless she's good at holding a straight face. But
I'm happy to. I'm happy
anyway, yeah,
to,
just carry on with that point. Yeah, it looks like we might have frozen there, Bridget, but carry on that point. So just on nuclear, where would you like to put them, and what would you do with the waste? I think that's probably the two key questions that people, will be wondering about.
Well, I just wanted to pick up on where the attack Zali was going on. The fact is, they're going to say it takes too long and it costs too much. Now, when I was in COP28 in Dubai commissioned nuclear power plants in Baraka in 2012. They started to build them. They're online in 2020. That's the reality of the modern day version of nuclear technology. So every time the Labor Party and the Teals come out with that argument, they're absolutely false. They're using 1950s research.
Hey, Bridget,
so in terms
we've
of
got
where
Zali.
Do we put them?
Zali's bounced back to us. Zali, we just lost you for a moment there. Can you just finish the point that you were about to make?
Oh, look, I think this is a distraction to avoid transitioning to renewable energy by the Nationals. We know this is purely political. It's a distraction and a delaying tactic. They are refusing to have a 2035 target, which requires us to transition now of fossil fuels.
But you're not even going to reach that target.
And are arguing for that to continue.
Exactly.
Now, on nuclear, can I just point out, there is no affordable nuclear for Australia. That is the reality. Every country needs to play to its natural advantage, and nuclear is just not it for Australia. We have the most abundant wind and solar, which means our energy will be so much cheaper. So if the coalition's plan is 10 times more expensive electricity via nuclear, take that to the election and be realistic and be honest with the Australian people about where you are proposing to put nuclear. No locations are identified by them and no costings that are realistic. I was on the inquiry when it came to should we lift the moratorium on nuclear energy, and the coalition itself acknowledged they were not in a position to do so. So I think this is a furphy, it is a distraction, a distraction from moving to renewable energy in the past.
You got to admit, though, nuclear are going to take a whole lot less space than solar and wind farms.
Well, again, tell me where are the coalition planning to put nuclear?
Your response to that, Bridget?
Well, we'll have more to say towards the election, but the fact is Zali would prefer 28,000 kilometres of transmission lines, not in her community, but carpeting the regions. And we've seen what happens when you have an over-reliance on renewables. In my home state of Victoria, hundreds of thousands of families and businesses without power. So it's very easy for Zali to, have the unicorn fantasy. I'm sorry, I'll let you speak. I am interested in...
Zali, just hold off. Zali, just hold off. Zali, finish your point, Bridget, and then we'll go to Zali. Bridget, finish your point.
Zali would like to think that the laws of economics and physics no longer exist. The reality is they do. We want to get to net zero, but we want a realistic pathway to get there, existing sites, existing transmission lines, existing workforces.
Okay, Zali, you can close.
Complete unicorn and just absolute make-believe that Bridget and the coalition are
like the rest of the world
talking about coalition. The reality is Victoria has an outage because it's relying on an ageing fossil fuel coal-powered power station that has tripped, that's gone out.
No renewable.
We have to transition to modern-day technology, and for Australia, it is simply not nuclear, and the coalition seem unable to.
But you got to admit,
and the reason they simply are trying to delay the transition to renewable, which must occur now, between now and 2035.
Well, they're just not coming along fast enough, and the fossil fuels are doing all the heavy lifting, are they not, Zali?
No, the fossil fuels are fading out. It's like we're insisting on driving with a 35, 40-year-old car that is inefficient and dirty. The reality is that technology is past its due date, and we have to move on to modern technology.
That's not true. They're building
coalition are so stuck in the past,
are out of time.
Just can't move on.
Bridget, Zali, good to chat as always. I like it. We'll talk to you again soon. Have a great weekend.